Platoon sergeants, what's the dumbest excuse a private gave you that actually turned out to be true? I was a platoon sergeant at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Been dealing with lazy privates and their creative excuses for 8 years. Heard everything. Grandmother died 6 times. Car broke down on a street with no cell service. Alarm clock spontaneously combusted. After a while, you develop a sixth sense for lies. You can smell the BS before it leaves their mouth. Then Private Vaughn showed up late to morning formation. 20 minutes late. Entire platoon standing there waiting. I'm furious. Ready to smoke this kid until his legs fall off. Vaughn, you better have the best excuse in military history, I said. And it better involve actual proof of death or dismemberment. He stood at attention, completely serious. Sergeant, I got attacked by a wild peacock on the way to formation. The entire platoon started snickering. Even my squad leaders were trying not to laugh. A peacock, I repeated slowly. You're telling me a peacock attacked you? Yes, Sergeant. Big one too. Chased me for like 3 blocks. I had to hide behind a dumpster until it left. I just stared at him. Vaughn, we're in Georgia, not India, not a zoo. You're telling me a wild peacock just randomly attacked you on a military base at 6 in the morning? Yes, Sergeant. It was by the motor pool. Thing came out of nowhere. This was the dumbest excuse I'd ever heard. Not even creative, just stupid. Vaughn, you're getting Article 15 paperwork for being late and insulting my intelligence. Fall back in formation. He opened his mouth to protest, but I cut him off. Not another word. We'll discuss your peacock problems after training. 2 hours later, I'm in my office starting the paperwork when Specialist Wade bursts in. Wade was my most reliable squad leader. Never caused problems. Sergeant Brennan, you need to see this, he said, holding up his phone. He showed me a video. Security camera footage from the motor pool. Timestamp that morning at 06:10 hours. There's Private Vaughn walking toward formation. Normal Tuesday morning. Then this massive peacock appears from behind a building. Full tail display, looking aggressive. The bird charges him. I'm talking full speed peacock assault. Vaughn tries to run, but peacocks are faster than you'd think. This thing chases him around cars, between buildings, pecking at his legs the whole time. Vaughn finally dives behind a dumpster. The peacock stands guard for 11 minutes, just pacing back and forth, occasionally pecking the dumpster like it's trying to flush him out. Eventually the bird wanders off. Vaughn waits another 3 minutes to make sure it's gone, then sprints toward formation. I watched this video 3 times. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. Where did this footage come from? I asked Wade. Motor pool security cameras. Corporal Sterling pulled it this morning when he heard Vaughn's excuse. Thought it sounded too weird not to check. I called Vaughn back to my office. He walked in looking defeated, probably expecting to get destroyed. Vaughn, I owe you an apology, I said. Just watch the security footage. That peacock was real. His face lit up. You saw it? That thing was terrifying, Sergeant. I've never been so scared in my life. Where did it even come from? No idea, Sergeant, but it was huge and really angry. Turned out the base wildlife management had been tracking this peacock for 2 weeks. Someone's exotic pet escaped from off-base housing. The bird had been terrorizing the motor pool area every morning around 0600. They'd set up traps but couldn't catch it. Thing was smart. Avoided all the cages and food bait. Wildlife officer told me they'd received 4 other complaints about the peacock. One guy said it attacked his car. Another claimed it stole his breakfast sandwich right out of his hand. I thought they were all exaggerating until I saw Vaughn's video. Base commander sent out an official warning email. Be advised, aggressive peacock in vicinity of motor pool. Exercise caution during morning hours. My platoon thought this was the funniest thing ever. Started calling Vaughn Peacock as a nickname. The bird got captured 3 days later. Took 5 soldiers and a wildlife officer to corner it. Thing fought like a trained combat animal. Put up more resistance than some detainees I dealt with in Iraq. Original owner came to pick it up. Rich lady from off base who bought it as a decoration for her garden. Had no idea peacocks were territorial and aggressive. He's usually so sweet, she kept saying while the bird hissed at everyone. Vaughn requested to be present when she took it away. Wanted to face his nemesis one last time. The peacock saw him and immediately started displaying aggressively. Vaughn just stood there at attention, staring it down. Not today, bird, he said calmly. You already made me do 200 push-ups. After that incident, I started investigating every excuse more carefully. If a wild peacock attack could be real, anything was possible. 2 months later, Private Curtis claimed he was late because a meteor landed in his backyard. Found out there was actually a meteorite shower that night. A small one hit his neighbor's shed. Started keeping a folder called Excuses That Sounded Like Lies But Weren't. The peacock story went in there first. Still my favorite one after 10 years as a platoon sergeant.